positions. So that's number one. Number two, the court has pronounced itself. The matter went to court, it was litigated, it was argued thoroughly, and the High Court said these positions are illegal. Then it was appealed to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal, thinking like Miguna, sat on the case up to today. They have sat on the case. So they're still illegal positions. Why should I accept something that the court has pronounced is illegal and I believe is illegal? It would be hypocritical on my part, and I'm not a hypocrite. All right? So that's the answer. That is why I am correct in analyzing politics. I have never been wrong on this. In 2007, I was right. I supported Raila odinga, and he won. Everybody knows that. Even Kibaki knew. He accepted that Raila won. That is how come he agreed to a coalition government. Why would you have a coalition government if you won legitimately? It was not done because 1,000 people had died. That's wrong. That's false. Kibaki got himself sworn in at night when he knew he had lost an election. So I was right in 2007. I was right again in 2017, except that my candidate turned into a despot. I voted for Uhuru Kenyatta, he won. I mean, if he lost, we want to see how he became president, right? In 2017, I said Uhuru lost and Raila won. Did he go for handshake? If I was right, if I was wrong, why did Uhuru handshake Raila odinga behind my back? Because he knew he was a legitimate president. In 2022, I supported Ruto. He won. So therefore, Miguna is always right. I mean, I've proved it. I've proved it. I'm the only one who has proved it. These people have not proved it. When I have said something is wrong, it has actually come to be that it is wrong. I'm not God, but on this, I'm right. Healthy person. Right? Yes. They did not defeat me, they did not weaken me, they did not do anything. As a matter of fact, they are walking shamed, completely dishonorable. The other day I went to Karim Country Club and I met a puffy man called Mutembei. He came like this. So he's greeting me. So I asked him, "You're still alive?" He said, "Yes, I'm not dead." But he looked dead, spiritual. Emotionally, he was dead. He was empty. His eyes were empty. He was going to play golf at 11. I had my tea and was walking majestically. But him, it's like he has to find something to do. Now he finds his life is empty with all the billions he stole and all the people he killed. He can't show his face like I can show my face here. But then he cannot come here and lecture anybody. So who has won? Who has won? General. In the long end, what will history write about him? Will the country remember him as a hero or a villain, a bad man or a good man, compared to me? If history remembers him, it will be a tiny footnote written in red. There lived a puffy despot called Mutembei. Right? I don't think history will say the same thing about me. So anyway, let me go there now. I mean, I'm a living example of those that have actually sought and got justice through the Kenyan legal system. I went to the judiciary and I said, look at what I say, and people thought were ridiculous. But yet he said, Miguna is not a Kenyan. So I said, I'm a Kenyan, I want him to prove that I am not. And he was not able to prove I'm not a Kenyan. I won that one. He said, Miguna lost his citizenship when he went to Canada. I said, nobody can lose citizenship by birth unless they renounce it. And I did not renounce mine. Let me tell us how I lost it without renunciation. He couldn't prove. I won. He said the National Resistance Movement is a terrorist organization. I said it is not, and I want him to prove that we are terrorists. He was not able to prove. I won. He said the National Resistance Movement must be banned. I said it cannot be banned. And the court agreed. They said it cannot be banned. He said, oh, Miguna cannot get a passport because the first one he got through, he was given wrongly or wrongfully. I said, okay, so who gave me? The Department of Immigration, right? Or is it whatever department it is? It was given by a government department. I applied for it. I paid. I was issued a passport. Like everybody else. I have a right to a passport. Let him tell us how it was given illegally. They said, oh, Tino Kajun just gave you because you are in ODM. As he says that, Raila is his principal and Raila is the head of ODM. So I said, tell Raila to tell me how Tino Kajun gave me this thing illegally. They couldn't prove that. I won that one. In fact, the court even told them, you cannot even charge him. I can't even be charged for all these things. Then they say, oh, the swearing in of Raila Odinga was illegal or whatever. I said, no, it was perfectly legal. The court said it was. I won. So, how do you call that not getting justice? Because the only thing I have not gotten is that I am yet to be paid for the orders that I got. But you see, that does not bother me because I have children. And even if I'm not paid in life, they will get my payment at some point. So still I will be paid. Whether I'm paid tomorrow, whether I'm paid next week, whether I'm paid next year, does not bother me. I have a valid court order that I can collect on. So that should not bother anybody. The wheels of justice move slowly, but eventually they do. When Moi victimized me in 1987, when I came back to Kenya in 2007, I sued. I got my order, I got paid. You see, the thing is, I don't give up. I don't give up. So for those who give up, you will not get justice. For those who don't give up, you will get justice. So don't give up. Now, people have all manner of things they say about the judiciary. To tell you the truth, frankly, regardless of everything else that people have said about the judges and what, it is the only institution in the Republic of Kenya that has been more loyal to the Constitution and has delivered. We've seen cases go to the Supreme Court, the petition, they have rendered judgment. You can disagree with the judgment, but they render them within the time prescribed in the Constitution. And they issue judgments. When they rendered the unanimous decision, people were shocked because the Supreme Court's President, Koome, and the head of the judiciary was put there by Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru Kenyatta put her there because he felt that he could control that when there is a contentious election coming in 2022, that would be his trump card. He did that with the BBI, he did that with the election. Did Koome vote for him or not? She never did. And I told people during the BBI, when everything else is said and done, a judge remembers, what is my legacy? Every judge remembers. Do I want to be remembered as a puppet of the current regime, or should I do my job so that history records that this Chief Justice tried to do her best? And she chose to be on the side of being right rather than being a puppet. And that's a good thing. So I can answer that affirmatively. Yes, we can get justice through the judiciary. It is not perfect. We can improve it. We must improve it. But there is no judiciary in the world that is perfect. I practice in Canada, and there are racist judges who make decisions against black people merely because they're black. But many people would think that that is a perfect society. It is not. No society is perfect. And no society will ever be perfect. But we can all work towards making them perfect. If actually leadership is not by sitting in office, but actually working for the people, what then happens to younger generation with aspiration of leadership? Will they lead while outside the office? Oh, because I said leadership is not being in office. No. Leadership is not being in office. And I'll give you a few examples. If money is all you're looking for in life, there are 3 professions I will say you should join. First, you can try to be a bank robber. Because they keep money in the bank. So you can go and help yourself. 2, you can sell illicit drugs. There is more money in cocaine selling than anything else in the world. So you can try to be like Escobar or Pablo Escobar or the rest. Very lucrative. Number 3, you can own brothels and sell prostitutes. That can get you a lot of money. Number 4, I'm serious here. Number 4, you can become a crook of whatever shape or form. You're just a crook. You're selling anything and everything, or stealing anything and everything, land, whatnot, doing deals. Then you will make a lot of money. However, if your interest is pursuit of values, if you believe in values that are in the Constitution, the rule of law, democracy, human rights, fairness, integrity, good governance, then money should be an instrument you get in order to make you be transformative in whatever field you have chosen. Many of us have chosen the latter. This could include street protests. So I'm coming back to the question I was asked. Can justice be sought on the street? Yes, it can. And it normally is sought on the streets. In fact, if everything else fails, the street is the only place to seek justice. If everything else fails, that is the only way it was done when we were reintroducing multi-party democracy in this country. We forced Moi to repeal Section 2A by demonstrations. It was not done in boardrooms, and it was not done peacefully. But because everything else had failed, you heard about the Arab Spring that brought down governments in the Middle East and North Africa. It was on the streets. You've heard about the Orange Revolution in Ukraine and other countries. How was it done? It was done on the streets. So yes, you can seek justice on the street if and when everything else fails. If courts do not give you justice because judges are compromised, or judges are threatened, or judges are bribed, then you can't go to court. There is no reason to go to court. If you can't seek justice legislatively because your members of parliament are picked or handpicked by party leaders and imposed, and then they go to parliament and all they do is take their benefits and salary and do not care about you, then you have to go to the street. But as I say, it is the ultimate final result when everything else has failed. Now, popular protests are entrenched in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Everybody is allowed to protest peacefully, without weapons. So as long as you do it peacefully, without weapons, it is allowed. All right? Then you can go to court, as I say. That's another mechanism. And you can also write. You can also do petitions. You can also just agitate. You've seen these people that just stand in Uhuru Park or wherever it is, Jivanji Gardens, with a megaphone, and they are talking. That's part of agitation. It's legitimate, it's allowed. You don't have to be a politician to be a leader. In fact, in Kenya, most politicians are not leaders. Because leadership is not about occupying public office. Leadership is about vision. Leadership is about the ability to guide, to advise, to be able to represent the aspirations of the people towards a higher goal. Meaning that in Kenya today, if you ask the question, what is it that most Kenyans aspire for? What is it? It's not money. I know many of you will say money. Money is not a value. Money is not a goal. Money is not an aspiration. Money is an instrument. In fact, a fiction, an economic fiction. Unfortunately, in Kenya, work is supposed to be bad because people who work are not rich. The ones who are stealing are richer. The ones who are doing deals are richer. The ones who fail their exams are doing better than the ones who passed. Like last week they released the results, KCSE, right? You see the A's. I am not going to comment on whether or not the exams were leaked or not. But no matter what it was, we know, no matter what, that there are students who genuinely got A's. And you expect these genuine A's to go to good faculties at the universities, graduate and get good jobs, right? But is that the reality in Kenya? Most hardworking students, most brilliant students, most promising students, bright scholars, are unemployed. Many of them die very painful deaths. This is what we want to change. The democracy I'm describing, the ones I am saying you should foster in the 21st century, should ensure that these students get employed, get paid based on merit. If I didn't know what I was talking about, I wouldn't be here today. I looked at the environment in 2021, 2022, and I'm already locked outside the country. I analyzed these people. I looked at Ruto, I looked at Raila, I looked at Uhuru. I said, no. The only way I go back to Kenya, I defeat Uhuru and Raila together. Then I will be back in the country. And we did. If I had not taken an active part in the political process, I believe they would have won. And I would have been locked out of Kenya for good. I would have died abroad without coming back to my country. So no matter how little you are, no matter the modest abilities you have, it all adds up. Secondly, when you are in exile, forced exile, not self-exile, there is a difference. I did not run into exile. I did not cross the Ugandan border or Tanzanian border or Somali border. I did not board a flight and say I've run away. I was forced out of this country twice. One of them while I was unconscious. Did I keep quiet? You know, I mean, I think my evidence is self-evident. I did not keep quiet when I was at the airport when they tried to push me away. I did not keep quiet when I reached Amsterdam or when they dumped me in Dubai and I was unconscious. The moment I regained consciousness, I spoke. And I've spoken every single day for 5 years. Who has ever done that in this country? Just mention one. Mention one person in the entire world who was sedated from his country of birth, put in a plane unconscious, dumped in a foreign airport, and the moment he regained consciousness, he said, I want to go back where I was sedated. Who? There is none. And this is a historical fact. So it is always good when you're asking questions to be correct. Factually correct. Because I am famous for deconstructing untruths. I have a PhD in deconstruction. All right? Yes. So I never kept quiet. I have never kept quiet, and I will never keep quiet. But it doesn't mean that I must say what you want. I will say what I want. Like Bantu Steve Biko wrote before he was assassinated in South Africa. I write what I like. I have a freedom of conscience, a freedom of thought, and freedom of expression. I will enjoy them robustly. As you have seen, I'm not the caricatures they show you on TV. When you compare the TV caricatures they have shown you and the real man, it's not the same. I think through what I say. I don't talk anyhow. So, the direction we are going, in my view, is positive. In my view. And I can only express my view. You can express yours, I can only express mine. Why do I say that? Politically, vigorous campaigns happened last year.